The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro.
The hate army.
Shout
that
out
guy.
to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
So, we've been talking about this one for a while in regards to how it affected me many years ago, right? As you know, back in 2021, as I had been streaming on twitch.tv for about 5 years, right? Full time. I went back there in late 2016, and I had streamed until, like, what was it? April of 2021. So it's almost 5 years I had been streaming over on twitch.tv. I had built up a great viewer base. I had tens of thousands of followers. I had about 1,000 paid subs over there. I regularly had good viewership, people doing bits, you know, super chats, I guess they were called. No, what are they called over there? Just bits and everything over there, right? Hype trains going, everything, correct? One day, out of the blue, all of my monetizations options disappeared during a live stream. And we have no idea what's going on. We have, you know, what's happening. So I check my emails and it says, you've been removed from the partner program for a violation of the terms of the partner program for hateful speech. What does that even mean? So I contacted them and I said, what are you talking about? You never contacted me and said I did anything wrong on any of my streams. I have no strikes against me per se. And all of a sudden you're just removing me, right? And they said, we legally don't have to respond. That's actually what they said. They said, we legally don't have to give you a reason. We could just do whatever we want whenever we want. That's actually what they said. That's what they told me in their official legal response. Now, I don't even want to tell you how actually wrong that is. You can't just do whatever you want because you put it into a terms somewhere, like because there's partner terms of service. Just because there's something in writing doesn't mean it's legal. All right, I can tell you right now, there is no business on this planet that can put you into a contract and then say they can terminate that contract without any justification. That simply doesn't exist. To terminate a legal contract or agreement, there has to be reasons, justifiable legal reasons, okay? Which I believe is located in the state of California. So it has to abide by all the legal reasons of anything in California, okay? I tell you right now, they're not. They haven't. This is why Dr. Disrespect, after he was actually banned from the site without apparently real justification, as we know from his side of the story, he sued them and they settled because they knew they were going to lose. All right? So if everyone were big time, like Dr. Disrespect, and had money, they could sue Twitch for this kind of shit and Twitch would be bankrupt. They would have no fucking money. All right? But this is just how they behave. They think that they can do whatever they want. They can selectively enforce their rules. And then when they enforce them, they don't even have to prove any wrongdoing. They just kick you off the site, remove your monetization, do whatever they want. It's a completely, utterly unprofessional place to work or do business. I can't imagine anyone in their right mind with the incredible amount of horror stories that have come out of Twitch over the years, why anyone would want to work there or stream there. Recently, Asmongold saying something on a stream. He gets suspended. Now he's gone off on them saying he doesn't want to stream there anymore, right? VTubers are getting banned left, right, up, and down on the site. And people are trying to figure out why. It seems like VTubers are being held to this standard of behavior and or appearance of a virtual character, while real women are on the site literally almost nude, basically being whores on webcam to receive funds from Simps, and Twitch is okay with that, but not with VTubers. How the fuck does that make sense? The virtual isn't allowed, the real is. What is going on? Right? How is this fucking site operational? Why is anyone even fucking using it? I mean, I need an explanation. Let's think about this. Twitch takes 50% of your income. 50. Every single other streaming service is better. YouTube only takes 30% or less. Fucking Kick takes 5. Why would you be streaming on Twitch? Every time you turn on your stream, you got to compete with half-naked women doing sexual acts on camera, sucking in money from fucking simps. People doing stunts and bullshit to get noticed in the algorithm of that fucking site and get to the front page. And then at any moment, you could be doing nothing wrong, and all of a sudden, your stream goes down because you violated some phantom rule set that doesn't fucking exist. And when you ask how you violated it, they tell you legally we don't have to say anything. Why the fuck would you ever work there? Ever. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, years ago, I could understand. Years ago, these things weren't exposed, weren't known. These things have now been known for years and years and years, right? And the thing is, it's just getting worse. Apparently, the new thing going on Twitch is they've allowed incredible amounts of hateful speech. Okay? And the hateful speech, from what I'm to understand, I'm trying to understand the situation, I guess is against Jewish people. I guess what's happened is, as you know, there's this big war going on over in the Middle East. And there's two sides to the argument. Some people are siding with one and some people are siding with the other. So apparently there have been streamers on Twitch that are going out there and saying awful things about the Jewish race as a whole. There was one streamer that apparently went on and said, I hope that every single soldier gets PTSD. Wait, what? So I want you to think about this. I did hateful speech, supposedly. This is what got me removed from the partner program. Hateful speech. What did I ever say that was hateful speech? Did I ever rally against an entire race of people on Twitch? Did I ever say that I wish that a whole group of people get PTSD? Did I say anything like that at all? Well, guess what? Guess what? Those people who did those things on Twitch are still monetized right now. Not me. They are. So do you understand how unfair the site is? What they do is they bully and focus in on certain people who they don't like, and they allow other people to have completely free reign to do whatever the hell they want. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all how they operate their site. It's incredibly selective enforcement. All right? It's who they like and who they don't like in any given day. I mean, I streamed on Twitch for 5 years with no problems, and then all of a sudden one day, no monetization for you, Phil. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? So what's happened is over there, if you guys aren't aware, they've had shifts in management, shuffling about. Everything's changed, okay? Literally everything has changed over there, over and over and over. And so now there's this other guy who's a CEO who I guess has been in his role for about a year. And what's happened is people are arguing the website's gotten worse under this guy's watch. And today he put out a post, a public post, which I'll show you. So there's a million posts about that. I'm trying to find his post. Maybe if I do this, it'll just be right here. By the way, this is the picture he puts up of himself. This guy is old. He put up a picture of himself like in his 20s or 30s on his fucking profile. That's not what you look like today, dude. At all. There he is. He's an old man. He thinks that he's still 20. So that's what he puts on his fucking profile everywhere, like an idiot. Okay? You know, some people age gracefully. Some people are just fucking stupid. So, here we are. Here's his post from 5 hours ago. Okay? I want to make it clear that Twitch stands firmly against hate and harassment of any form. You can read more about our commitment to safety and belonging on Twitch here. Over the past few weeks, we've seen members of the community voice concerns about how we handle potentially harmful content. There's no place on Twitch for racism, hatred, or harassment of any kind, including anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. As our community has grown, we've endeavored to build community guidelines to prohibit these harms. It doesn't matter what guidelines you have if you don't enforce them or you selectively enforce them. You can have a list of rules, but if no one actually fucking does anything about them, the rules are meaningless. This is like what's happened in all of America recently, okay? Right now, in certain parts of the country, notably where I live, crime rates are at an all-time high because they decided 5 years ago, 4 years ago, to loosen all the laws and loosen the enforcement of the law. So literally right now, I'm not kidding you. If you go to a retail store and you just stand there for 5 hours, you will witness probably 10 people walk into the store, grab a bunch of shit, put it in a bag, and walk right out the door. And no one does anything about it. If you call the police, they don't do anything about it. There's no one in the store to stop them. That's just common here in Washington State now. Why? Because you don't enforce the rules. It's illegal to do what they did, but no one arrests them or puts them in jail for it, so they just continue to do it. It doesn't matter what rules you have on Twitch. If no one actually monitors and enforces the rules, then nothing will ever happen to make it a better place to stream. You understand? Twitch is and will always be about belonging. Each day, people come together on our service to build communities around shared interests and to express themselves authentically. Yes, shared interests such as throwing money at girls who are almost completely nude. For this to be possible, we work hard to ensure that our community is a safe place. Our community guidelines are foundational. This is so bad, I don't want to read this. When we find content that breaks those rules, we take immediate action. Wrong. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. You do not take immediate action at all. This will always be the case. Wrong. That's a lie. Billions of streamers with a wide variety of views and perspectives spend time on Twitch. We recognize that some content will allowed on our service may be objectionable to some members of our community. The views shared by streamers on Twitch are not the views of Twitch, nor are they my personal views. We're grateful for the feedback and input from our community. Our safety approach continues to build. So he says nothing. He literally says nothing. Everyone is telling him, your site is gross. You've got people on there who are anti-Semites. You got people on there saying all soldiers should have PTSD. You got women ripping their fucking clothes off, writing on their naked bodies, accepting money from fucking Simps and shit. No one likes your site. Fix it. He says, our site's good. We have good rules, and we enforce it every time. This guy's a piece of shit. Hey, Danny boy who thinks he's 20 when he's like fucking 60, Dan Clancy, you're a piece of shit. You literally put out a statement that basically is you're going like this in the face of all your customer base. Well, your customer base isn't going to accept that as a fucking answer. In fact, if you go back and you look at all the responses, this is absolutely hilarious. Please give an example of how Twitch has stood firmly against hate. We notice your favorite streamer, Hassan the Hun, is quite hateful. What did Twitch do about it? I think you need a new trust safety team. Platitudes with no actions, to be quite honest. What's the reason for ignoring thousands of people sharing Frogan's clip just for her to be banned a day later, but it was something completely unrelated? Here you claimed you take immediate enforcement actions. Right? That would start with banning Hassan. Safety and belonging of Hassan Piker, you mean not people like me? Hassan still existing on your platform contradicts any excuse of a commitment to safety and belonging that you could think of. Insane to me how your platform is allowed to operate with such blatant disregard to the people that inhabit it. Why'd you lie about banning new accounts from Israel for a year? I mean, this just keeps going. This is like, I'm not even kidding. There's like 1,000 responses. There's 1,200 responses to be specific. And everyone is bringing out some of this stuff, right? So, that's what I mean. Yeah, look, your words don't mean shit. Stop the bullshit. Step down. This doesn't end until you do. Look at this. A representative in New York is warning of amplification of anti-Semitism by Twitch streamer Hassan Piker. So basically, he's saying this guy is inciting anti-Semitic actions because of what he says on Twitch. Yet this guy says, oh, if we saw any of that, we'd ban him immediately. A fucking, a senator, or excuse me, a representative, a government official is saying it. Right? So this just drives me nuts, right? But I want to work there, right? Oh, man, Twitch is the best place to stream. It's the safest place to stream. You make the most discoverability. All right, the myth of discoverability must now be destroyed. I've had enough, all right? There is no discoverability on Twitch whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, if you stream on Twitch, you're a bug in a pile of other bugs, okay? You're not going to get discovered on Twitch and make it big. The myth is a lie, all right? There is no, oh, a nobody turned on the stream on Twitch and got saw it on the front page and now they're a millionaire. This doesn't fucking happen, all right? By the way, it doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen on YouTube. It doesn't happen on Twitch. It doesn't happen on Kick. It's not going to happen anywhere, all right? The idea now, sadly, I'm sorry that I got to be honest with everyone. The market is oversaturated for streamers, okay? It just is. The only reason that I even have an audience at this point is because I've been around for 16 years and I'm such an internet staple and kind of an oddity. that I still have people who like me and want to watch my content because I've been around for so long. Do you understand? But there is no person on earth who's going to magically go on Twitch and all of a sudden overnight is an internet success. It doesn't happen, okay? There's reasons for it. Maybe completely lucky. You do something silly and it gets noticed and someone else talks about it and amplifies it. Maybe there is a 1 in a zillion shot where you hit the algorithm. But the people who are getting very, very successful, if you notice, these aren't necessarily the nicest, kindest, gentlest, most awesome people. People who are pulling stunts, people who are doing vile things, people who are saying extremist stuff to get a polarized opinion out there. So everyone who loves them watches them, and everyone who hates them loves to hate them and watches them. You get it? That's how people are blowing up. Look at Side Scrollers. They had a podcast they launched early 2023. It sucked ass and flopped. They were trying to relaunch this thing. They could not get a foothold in gaming. So they quit. And they brought it back as a political show, and now they get thousands of viewers. Why? Because it's the drama content. It's the lowbrow content. It's the easy shit. The stuff that gets people pissed off. That's what sells today. All right? That's it for Twitch. If you're going to be a girl taking her clothes off, or you're going to sit there and say extremist political shit, you'll probably get noticed on Twitch. And that's it. But guess what? That's the content that's destroying the site. That's why advertisers are leaving in droves, just like they were leaving YouTube in 2017. That site cannot continue to exist with management that ignores the problems, sticks their fingers in their ears, and claim like they don't exist, which is exactly what CEO Daniel Clancy just did. He lies outright, saying that all these rules are enforced when we know they're not. We have concrete evidence they're not. It's selective enforcement. On any given day, that is the most unprofessional fucking site to work on. You never know if you're going to get a fair shake or not today. I worked there for 5 years, and then they gave me the shit can out of the partner program and refused to tell me what I even did wrong. Again, I found out what it was. It was they looked at my previous content from over a decade ago and didn't like the nasty jokes that I told back then, so they kicked me out of the partner program. Even though it had nothing to do with my current day content, they didn't care because they went woke. Well, guess what, fuckers? Now you're falling apart because your site is so pushed to one direction that no one wants to be on it anymore. So that's why you're losing advertisement revenue, and that's why you can't make money anymore. You're fucked because you went too far. You have a CEO. I can't believe this. The CEO of the company. This is great. All right? That's his avatar on Twitter. And this is him.
Everyone, gonna knock. Don't spoil this.
We're doing amazing. Okay?
That's his old man. But this is his fucking avatar. He's living in a parallel fantasy dimension where he thinks he's a hip young man and he knows, oh, look at me. What the fuck kind of company is this? That's where you want to stream? With Mr. Fantasyland? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Right? Seriously. This is just stupid shit. Don't work on Twitch. I implore you. Get the fuck out of there. If you're working on Twitch right now, there's viable alternatives. YouTube, there's no discoverability, but there's also no discoverability on Twitch. And on YouTube, you get paid more. No one can catch me because YouTube essentially is protecting me. You get paid, they only take 30% of your contributions. All right? Kick, hell, they barely take anything. But over there, you're definitely only reliant on subs. They don't have a lot of the features that other sites have right now. They will probably eventually, all right? But I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens if they actually do add things like super chats and stuff like that on Kick. But I'll tell you right now, I would, again, the only reason you would ever see me streaming on Twitch is if it was the last streaming place. I'm serious. I'm streaming on Kick and YouTube right now. I would fucking stream on Rumble first. I would stream on the tiniest streaming site first before I went back to fucking Twitch. That they have gone completely in the wrong direction in the last 5+ years. They don't know what they're doing. Their management is they're high. Don't work there. And the thing is, the guy's such in denial. People present him with the evidence in his face of things going wrong. No, that's not happening. We enforce everything. Dude, you can't ignore reality around you. Maybe you do, because that's why your avatar profile is you as a 20-year-old guy instead of who you actually are today. You're living in the past, right? Anyway, wrong. See, I love this nonsense. Someone took me $1.13. California has at-will employment, so they can fire you for any reason at any time. Wrong. I'm not employed by Twitch. I was never employed by Twitch. We had a legal contract for a partnership, and the contract stated that they could terminate the contract for reasons. The reasons would be, for example, hateful speech. Therefore, they have to prove that there was hateful speech performed on their site to terminate my contract. They can't just say you did it and then terminate the contract without evidence. You have to prove that the wrongdoing happened. They refused to. They literally told me, we don't have to tell you. Yes, you do. I could have sued them and won. But what's the point? I can just go somewhere else and continue on with my life, and I'll have to go through a years-long legal battle, right? But I was never employed by them. We had a legal agreement for a partnership agreement. That's different than what you're thinking of employment. At-will employment does not apply to anyone who's streaming on K. Excuse me, on Twitch.
These contributions are mandatory. Typically helps me more than anything.